Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you clicked on this video. Today I will be going over what sold in my resale business in the week of March 24th through the 30th. I'll share with you how much I spent on each item, how much it sold for, and what my actual profit was on each item. And at the end, I'll go over total profits for the week and all that entails in calculating that up. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Jenny. I'm glad that you're here. I am an online, mostly clothing reseller, although I do sell other things if I venture over into the other side of the thrift store and find something that I think will sell. What my business looks like is I go to thrift stores, I find inexpensive, high quality clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark and sell them for a profit. If you don't have Poshmark yet and you're curious about it, I will put a link for you in the description of this video. And if you use that link, it'll start you off on Poshmark with a $10 credit and it'll give me a $10 credit. So thank you in advance. I do weekly what sold videos here on my YouTube channel, as well as other fun shorts and reseller and thrifting content. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that you will consider subscribing. Subscribing is free, and also, did you know if you subscribe and hit the bell icon, you'll get notified every time I release a new video. I am on Facebook and Instagram. I do share some behind the scenes type stuff over there, and then just personal stuff that everybody shares on Facebook and Instagram. So I hope to see you there. If you trickle over to my Facebook or Instagram from YouTube, leave a comment and let me know how you got there. It's always interesting to see. All right, so I'm a little bit behind on my what sold videos. I'm always very excited to get all my stuff pulled together and get the video recorded and edited and released to you as soon as I can after the week ends. And usually I do that on Monday is when I kind of start that process, and I usually have it released by Wednesday, but today is Sunday and I haven't released it. I haven't even recorded this one yet. So we just had a really busy week. One day that I planned to do it, I had to go check one of my sons out with a migraine. They get, my whole family, migraines are highly genetic. Do any of you have migraines? And most of my family has them, and we even get the visual aura. Have you ever experienced that? I've only experienced it twice in my life, but my kids get it almost every time they get a migraine, and their arms and stuff will even go numb, which would be super scary if I didn't know that everybody in my family does that. So we know how to manage it. They pop 2 ibuprofen, they put ice on their head, and they go to bed and drink a lot of water. And we do electrolytes. That seems to help some. Anyways, so that was one day, and then they had a travel basketball tournament. And so Friday night, after I picked them up from school, we had to go and play in game 1. And then on Saturday morning, we had to be back at 9 o'clock to play in game 2. And then game 3 was a couple hours after that. But I did get to shop at 2 thrift stores in that city that I normally, well, one of them I'd never been to. And I got some Disney cups. Let me go get them. I'll show you. So I didn't buy one single clothing item at that thrift store because they were priced up way high. But I found all of these rapid fill Disney cups, and I paid $2 a piece for them. And I don't know if I'm going to list them as a lot or individually. I do think some of them sell for more than others, but they were selling for like anywhere from like $10 to $20, but I got 6 of them. So I don't do Disney, but it looks like from my research, like you can, if you have this cup, you get free drinks. So it would be really smart if someone was going to Disney to go ahead and buy their cup. So I did a little thrift shopping, and then back for game 3 of the tournament. They lost that game, so we didn't get to play anymore. And then after that, what did I do? Had to run by Walgreens, ran by my mom's because she was getting rid of some more clothes. You know, she's a reseller too, but she decided not to do clothes, so she was giving me some clothes. So I got even more, like 2 garbage bags full of stuff. And then I did something really fun. My niece's prom was Saturday night, and I got to take her prom pictures. My sister-in-law asked me to come take them, and I was just honored. So that was my busy weekend, and now I have to go pick my kids up in an hour, but I was like, I'm recording this video before I go. So let's get into it. All right, first we have this Eileen Fisher like open knit sheer sweater. I titled it Eileen Fisher large top, 100% organic linen top. Why did I put top twice? I don't know. This is one of my older items, so I wasn't quite as good with my titles back then. Open knit, bright spring green lime. Oh, and y'all know I told you I've been doing really good about relisting. So a lot of these had been relisted. So when you do that, it kind of resurges that listing as a new listing and gets fresh eyes on it. So I believe that's really helped too. This was listed for 324 days. I originally bought it for $5.99. I listed it originally for $55, but I had been going down on the price. I'm not sure what it was listed for when it actually sold, but originally I did list it for $55. The buyer sent me an offer of $23.22. I accepted that, and it gave me a profit of $11.72. Oh, and I wanted to tell you guys, when I tell you the sold price, that's just the sold price. When I'm telling you that, I'm not factoring in what they paid for shipping. I do calculated shipping. There's a couple of different options of the ways that you can do shipping. I don't have any experience with the other way. This just seemed like the safest way for me, because I didn't want to say I'm charging a flat $5 rate or a flat $8 rate or whatever, which you can do. But when I first started out, I was like, I have no idea how much this stuff is going to cost to ship. So what I do is calculated shipping. I do weigh each item as I'm listing it, just the item alone. If I know it's going to go in a poly mailer or something like that, then I'll add 5 ounces to whatever the weight of the item is, and that's always more than enough. And then I'll just guesstimate. After doing it for a while, I can kind of tell myself, I know when I ball this up into a folded ball, what the dimensions will be. I do like overestimate what that will be, and it always has done me well. I've never lost money on shipping. So anyways, when I'm telling you the sold price, that's just the sold price. It's not sold plus shipping. And also, when I tell you my profit, so for this item, my profit was $11.27. That's my earnings minus my cost of goods. So if I initially bought this item for $5.99, my earnings would have been my profit, $11.27, plus I'm getting my $5.99 back. That has been sitting in my inventory for the last 324 days. So that's important too. But when I'm looking at my profit, I just take out cost of goods, shipping fees, all that, platform fees. All right, let's move right along. Next is a Cato brand. I'm selling more and more Cato. I'm not going to pick something up just because it's Cato for sure, but I have found that if it's cute, people don't mind paying good money for Cato brands. That was surprising to me. My sister had given me this, and I have found that family members giving me things has really allowed me to experiment with brands I would not have picked up. And now I know that I can. So I'm so thankful for my family that is giving me stuff. So my sister gave me this. So I had $0 into it. So I titled it Cato Maxi Dress 1820W Black, Blue, Green, Floral, Short Sleeve, V-neck, caftan, kimono. I originally listed it for $33. The buyer sent me an offer for $25. When I accepted that, it gave me a profit of $20.60 on a Cato brand. That's just blows my mind. And it was listed for 146 days. All right, y'all heard me talk about Allie Miles, I think last week. I love picking up Allie Miles. This one was only listed for 3 days. I titled it Allie Miles shirt, women's petite, linen cotton top, blue, white, beachy, nautical, artsy. I bought it for $2.99. I originally listed it for $39. The buyer sent me an offer of $22. And I should have waited that out because I could have gotten way more money for this, but I took it, and that gave me a profit of $16.10. Next is Tahari. These were listed for 210 days. I titled it Tahari Women's Size 10 Gray. Frankie was the style name. Frankie Flats. Paisley Embossed Velvet Slip-ons Gray. You can just see I tried to take every single possible angle that I could. The bottom of these shoes, when I buy shoes, the bottom does not have to be in perfect condition, but it's always, I feel like I can charge a little bit more if it is, if they're like new. All right, listed for 210 days. I paid $4 for these at Goodwill. I listed them for $32. The buyer sent me an offer of $22, and I accepted that, giving me a profit of $13.66, and of course I got the $4 back too. Next, Free People. This one sat for a while, 190 days. I titled this Free People, L for large, Lana tunic, that was the style name, off the shoulder, golden poppy, that was also part of the style name, bell sleeve, baby doll top. So I bought it for $4.15. I listed it for $27. I hadn't had very much interest on it, so when someone sent me an $18 offer, I accepted that. That gave me a profit of $10.25. Next, my mom picked these up at a yard sale. They were military issue combat boots. No money into them because my mom got them at a yard sale. I titled them U.S. Military Issue Men's 8.5 W Combat Boots Jungle RO Search. That was the style name, or I don't guess they put a style name on military issue stuff, but I got that from somewhere. Black leather and canvas. I listed them for $60. The buyer sent me an offer of $46. Gladly accepted that, and that gave me a profit of $35.30. All right, next is Mark Fisher. I bought these at one of my favorite thrift stores, and it's my favorite because you can get stuff for so cheap there. I paid $3 for these, and I did list them at the end of the warmer months last year. Maybe even was already cold when I did list them, but it was 282 days ago. I titled them Mark Fisher size 7.5 high heel sandals, ankle strap, navy blue block heel. And you can see in this picture that it does have some slight wear on the buckle. You probably wouldn't even notice it wearing them, but I did include that in the description because y'all know I don't want any surprises. And as you can see, the bottom of these was very worn, but it didn't stop the buyer from wanting them. I listed them for $42. The buyer sent of $31, which I accepted. That gave me a profit of $22.39. This is a brand I don't believe I've ever bought before or since, but I only paid 46 cents for this at that same thrift store where I can get stuff for really cheap. And so I was like, this is really cute. I'll experiment and see what happens. I titled it Robert Louis Women's Small Cottage Core Baby Doll Dress, red, pink puff sleeves. Y'all know I don't normally pick up size small either, so that was definitely an experiment. But when you can get a cute dress for 46 cents, it's hard to pass it up. This sat for 140 days, not too bad. It probably sat all through the cold months. And I listed it for $25. The buyer offered me $18.99. I accepted that. That gave me a profit of $15.72. Next, another brand that I don't normally pick up, but look at this cute denim dress. I love a long dress. I love denim, and I love the button shirt dresses with a collar. So that's just me personally. Like, I like to wear them, so they always catch my eye, but they do sell pretty good. I titled it Crazy Horse Liz Claiborne Women 10 Petite Light Blue Denim Button Shirt Dress. And this was another one that had a little flaw in it, so I made sure to disclose that in the description, they might not have even noticed, but right here there was just a little bit of a stain that I could not get out. So I wrote that in there. I got this one at a different thrift store where I get really cheap stuff for $1.24. It sat for 175 days. The buyer sent me an offer of $20. Oh, and I originally listed it for $29. Buyer sent me an offer of $20. That gave me a profit of $14.76. I like to get at least $15 profit on something. If I don't feel like I can get at least $15 profit, then normally I won't pick it up. And a lot of these were just shy of that 15, but I'll still pat myself on the back for $14.76 profit. I like Chico's. I pick up Chico's a lot, but this one sat for a long time. I did relist it and it sold a few days later. It sat for 336 days. I titled it Chico's Extra Large, Chico's size 3, because Chico's has vanity sizing, and this jacket would not fit a size 3. It would be way oversized on a size 3, so I always try to emphasize that. Okay, jacket, lace, open front, boho, lagging look, fairy, tan. I tried to throw all kinds of keywords in there that I thought described it. Maybe it's the style. I don't know if that waterfall front is as popular as it once was, but after I relisted it, it sold pretty quick. So I don't know, maybe it just didn't hit the right eyes the first time. But I bought it for $4.99. I listed it for $30. And I hadn't had a lot of interest, so when I relisted it and I got the offer for $15, I took it. That gave me a profit of $7.64. All right, next, this one was only listed for 10 days, and I did go back and forth a little bit about whether I was going to accept this offer, but I did. I mean, like, if you just first look at that, it's just a tank top, but if you think about the different qualities that it has, it's a bigger size, it's linen, the brand name speaks well for it, all those different qualities stacked together, sold it quickly. I titled it Pure Jill Women's 1X 100% Linen White Tank Top, Pockets, Sleeveless Blouse, Tunic. I paid $2 for it. I listed it for $30. The buyer sent me an offer of $23.23. I accepted that. That gave me a profit of $17.69. Next was a dress that I so wanted to fit me, but it didn't. It was a little too small. But I loved this dress, y'all. I told y'all I love long shirt dresses. I just thought it was beautiful, and it was linen. I titled it Vintage Linen Shirt Dress. Women's 10 red button, collared, modest. Old Money Virgo was the brand. And in this picture, I'm telling them that button, and it's in the description, that button was not the original button, but that it blended in well. And as you can see in the pictures, you really can't tell that all the buttons look the same. But close up, you could tell it wasn't the original one. So this sat for a long time too, but I do think maybe I listed it in the colder months, and I did just relist this one. So I bought it for $5.69. I listed it for $49. The buyer sent me a $25 offer. I originally listed it for $49. After it had sat for so long, I did decrease the sale price. I don't know what it was listed at once I got this offer, but I took it, and that was a profit of $13.98. All right, J. Crew, something that I have learned is if it has these 2 dots underneath it, that is J. Crew Factory. So I do believe in the description I wrote J. Crew Factory. So J. Crew Factory is not as high quality as just regular J. Crew, but this one was new with tags, so I thought it was worth getting. It was super cute. I did list it in the colder months. I titled it New J. Crew 8 Petite Nautical Maxi Dress. And I freaking wrote nautical again. Why do I do that? I do that so often. Navy blue white chevron slit. I bought this for $4.15. I listed it for $35. I relisted it recently and it sold quickly after that. the buyer offered me 24. I accepted. I don't know if I said earlier that this sat for 195 days. Maybe I did. But my profit was $16.29. I'll tell you, my strategy with relisting right now, maybe this is the wrong thing to do, but it seems to be working, is I'll go in. First, I'll go in my eBay. I haven't been relisting on Poshmark, but I've been doing eBay. And I will go to my active listings and I'll order it. You can sort it based off of start date of when it was listed. So I'll order them backwards, like the oldest first. And right now, I'm not relisting winter stuff. I'm relisting. I want fresh eyes on the stuff that people want now, which people may want coats. I don't know that. And if I get through all my spring and summer stuff and I need to relist more, I will go to that winter stuff. But right now I've just been focused on, I know right now people are wanting a new spring wardrobe, so I've been relisting stuff like that. Anyways, that's my strategy. All right, next, Killstar. I'm not real sure about this brand. Once I show you the shirt, you probably won't be either. But I knew it was something special to somebody. And I need to tell you, I hope I don't forget. Let me write this down. Y'all may think I'm crazy about this story I'm about to tell y'all. But let's go into this first. This sat for 88 days, and I bought it for $3 at Goodwill. I titled it, look at this. It's a short shirt with big old long bell sleeves. It's kind of sheer. But look how huge these bell sleeves are. I don't think, judging by the brand tag, I don't think that this was a Halloween costume. I think it, like, people just want this. I don't know. So I titled it Killstar Witchy Women's Small Sheer Top. And when I have something that's sheer or semi-sheer, I always put my hand back there so they can see that. Because I did have somebody recently return something because they didn't realize it was sheer, and I hadn't done that. So I'm now making sure that I do that. Black Velvet Moon. The moon was velvet. Whimsy Goth. I had an unbelievable amount of interest on this thing. So if you find any just unique items, somebody out there will want them, and you can't just find this just anywhere. So a lot of people will go online to find it. I listed it for $49, and someone paid full price for it 88 days later on Poshmark. They paid $49. That gave me a profit of $36.20. Yay! Okay, so do you guys remember Miss Cleo? She would come on late night TV back in like the 90s, early 2000s, probably like the 90s. And she was like, you could call, it was like infomercial type thing, like commercial where they were trying to get you to call in and get your psychic reading or whatever. And I hadn't thought about her in decades, but when I was in that thrift store this weekend, there was a pile of maybe 20 sets of Miss Cleo brand tarot cards. And I was like, I am not buying these. I do not want these in my home. Do y'all think I'm silly? I ain't silly. I don't want that in my home. Don't want it. It can stay at that thrift store. But I was like, I'm just curious. I wonder if I could make a profit off of it. Because when you find a big pile of something like that, you only have to list it once. So if you only make $5 off of it, but you sell 20 of them, you know, with time, then that's $100 profit. So there was a big old pile, and I looked it up, and they were selling for anywhere from like $15 to $20. So they're still at that thrift store if anybody wants to go get them, but I don't want them in my house. But this shirt made me think of the tarot cards. I thought I'd share that story with y'all. All right, we got 2 more to go. And I shared with y'all last week that I love picking up any type of peasant skirt. They always sell fast for me. This one I titled Vintage Black Peasant Maxi Skirt. Whimsy Goth, Tiered, Boho, Broomstick is a keyword that you can use for stuff like this that's kind of witchy. Women's Small. It was lined. Here's the vintage tag. I did share that there was this tiny little wear spot. So I paid $4.99 for this. It sold the exact same day that I listed it at full price. I listed it for $33 and that's what it sold for. That gave me a profit of $23.86. All right, last one. Catherine's. I love this plus size. This was listed for 104 days. I titled it Catherine's 5X Red Black Lace Midi Dress Paisley Stretch Floral Knee Length V-neck. I paid $3.99 for it. I listed it for $33. I sent someone an offer for $25. They accepted, and that gave me a profit of $16 and a penny. All right, that is all of my sales for this week, but I told you I would share with you like my total profits and all that good stuff. I had a total of 16 sales in this week of March 24th through 30th. 12 were on eBay, 4 were on Poshmark. The total sales price plus the shipping that the customer paid was $537.13. So total on all these clothes that you saw today, I spent $50.64. So that's considered my cost of goods. So after I subtracted the cost of goods and any platform fees that eBay and Poshmark charged me, plus any shipping fees that I had, that left me with a profit for this week of $291.76. So that went down from the week before, and the week after is the week I'm currently in, and I can already tell you that's going to go up. So you'll have those fluctuations. I had some wins, I had some not so great sales, but I'm excited about that. I would love in the comments for you to tell me what your biggest sale was, or maybe it was just a really big find that you're excited to sell. I really hope you're enjoying these videos. I'm so enjoying making them for you, and it really kind of holds me accountable. Like, do your job or you're not going to have enough sales to share with the people. I have a 1,000 subscriber goal and I'm far from it, but I will get there. If you haven't yet subscribed, I hope that you will. Maybe even share the video with someone that you think might be curious about adding reselling to their life as an extra stream of income. Like the video, maybe even share it on social media. Every single action that you take around my video really helps me out more than you even know. Small channels like mine, it allows me to keep bringing you free content multiple times a week, and I just appreciate you guys so much. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.